It's a Stephen King book. This book is a horror novel. Can you guess my 12th book of the year?
Misery by Stephen King. This is actually my first Stephen King novel, and I enjoyed my time with it. So, we follow acclaimed author Paul Sheldon as he awakes from a terrible car accident and he's being rescued by his self proclaimed number one fan, Annie Wilkes. Annie brings him back to her farmhouse and nurses him back to health, but we quickly learn that Annie has no intention of letting her favorite author leave. And that's pretty much it. The whole story takes place in this isolated farmhouse, mainly in this room our main character finds himself bedridden in. And we watch as Paul Sheldon comes to understand the gravity of his situation and his eventual attempts to escape. It's a very intimate novel. We spend a lot of time with these two characters, and so it's a good thing that for the most part they're pretty engaging. Annie Wilkes specifically is a really intimidating, kind of smothering presence in the book. And although the book isn't necessarily scary, a lot of the attempts to build suspense worked for me. Probably the most interesting part of the book for me was the writing around addiction, as Paul Sheldon struggles with his dependence on painkillers after his accident. You can tell that there was a lot of effort and thought put into these sections, especially considering that King himself has struggled with addiction. That being said, there were some elements that really didn't work for me. For one, this book is definitely showing its age. Came out in the late 80s, and a lot of the language and ideas thrown around are iffy by today's standards. And for me, there was a little too much grand philosophizing about the nature of being a writer. And from what I hear, that's pretty common in King's books. There's also some pretty large sections of the book dedicated to the fictional book that Annie is forcing Paul to write in the context of the story. And while I think that these sections provided some interesting insight into the writing process from the perspective of an author, I do think they went on a bit long. I give Misery by Stephen King 3 stars. I enjoyed it, but that's about it.